Yo, so what is going on with Dogecoin? So today it's a new day, early in the morning right now, and Dogecoin, at least I'm surprised right now. I'm gonna be honest, it's actually holding itself fairly steady. Now, last night wasn't the best for us, right? Elon Musk did mention Dogecoin and did actually entire skits. I stopped watching SNL after like the beginning because when I saw him mention Dogecoin about Mother's Day for his mom, I pretty much was like, okay, he already mentioned it, he did it basically. Then after that, the price basically fell out of the sky. And then afterwards, I wasn't really interested in these skits that they were showing. So I kind of just like turned it off halfway. But I literally saw a skit that, or at least today, that all they did was literally just talk about Dogecoin. And it was like a cryptocurrency finance skit, right? And I thought that was really interesting. So I'll show you guys like a little preview of that. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but basically I'll show you guys where you can access this. But let's look at Doge today, right? So basically, it looks like the floor of Doge has significantly increased from just a few weeks ago, right? So everyone who did get above the high point, right? If you bought in at the basically anything above current price right now, you are hurting, and you just you're looking at Doge in a negative context, which I totally understand, right? You assumed it was gonna go somewhere, it didn't, and that's just how the game works. Stock market, cryptocurrency. It's either you buy low, sell high, or basically you end up buying high, selling low, and then somebody else gets your profits while somebody else loses theirs. But in general, it seems like Doge isn't crashing down, like at least currently right now, right? If I make this video, then later today, Doge is at like 4 or 5 cents. That's not going to be good. But I don't think that is, at least currently right now. And then I will look at some charts and show you guys. And also remember, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. But just looking at the current price right now, we are at 61 billion market cap, guys. Still remember this. A meme, a joke coin, we're still at 61 bill market cap. The volume, it literally doubled almost. Like I think last night it was what, like 20 something plus bill. It's now up to 40 plus bill. So just note that the price that people are getting in this dip, and also people are taking some profits. Now I don't have the addresses. Someone apparently says that some people were apparently saying like a whale dropped like a lot of Dogecoin, which could have caused this dip. And if that was the case, definitely let me know. Send me the address to show like that person selling. That would make more sense to see. But at least right now, just looking at the numbers, volume has basically almost doubled. Price is still holding, I'd say around the 50 plus range. And let's just go ahead and let's look at this, right? So here is the chart today. And this is currently live. So again, by the end of this week, I'll have to see what happens to Dogecoin. But it seems like people are still buying into this dip, right? Obviously, we have, SNL, the red candlestick right here. And basically, if you can see, let's just zoom this out, make it a little bigger. Pretty much at the high point from, because we got to the high before basically SNL, and now we got to like this candlestick right here, 70, and then basically from there sold off. So let's just go from the top, at least the highs it had, and look at this drop right here. It's 43% drop. So in the grand scheme of things, that's, it's a drop. It's a big drop, but it's not like a 90, a 75% drop, right? Even if you bought at the tippy top, literally the highest points on Doge, it's still down 43%, right? That's not crazy. Yes, that sucks if you put in huge amounts. But again, like they say, only invest what you're willing to lose, right? If you put in what you can afford to lose, then, it's not too crazy. But either way, it's still 43%, assuming you're the percent of people that got in at like, the super high top, right? Now, for the most people, if you got in within these averages, which you can clearly see like where the volume is and most of the candlesticks have been built up, most people got in around these areas. And then obviously there's a whole bunch of people got in before too. So in terms of like the drop, let's say if you got in around, because pretty much for the most week, right, it was hovering, you couldn't even get it above 70. So like let's say you got in around these areas, either way, let's go to the 70-cent mark. And then current price today, now we're at like 30% drop, right? If we were to match it with the current price today. So I'd say that's not something crazy, right? It's not like it's the end of Doge. It's literally, 20, 30% drops aren't too, I'd say, crazy, right? That's usually you'll see, depending on the coin or the stock, for instance. If it goes up super, super high, don't be surprised when you see a 20, 30 plus percent drop, right? That just makes sense. Now, obviously, if this were to continue to drop another 30%, then yes, that we're basically now taking a huge L. But at least right now, it seems like people are buying in. RSI is going lower towards the, I'd say, the oversold territory, right? So this could indicate our new base level, We don't know yet. Obviously, the effects of SNL, it seems like it's already occurred. So I don't see any reason for it to just continue to drop, because I think like last night at least, everyone kind of they panicked. The people who panic sold, they pretty much they did already. And it's like unless there's some other catalyst that's gonna happen the next literally today, then I don't see people just taking off even more profits and just selling off again. It wouldn't make sense logically. But if that's the case, let's say someone else like, you know what, I'm bored. Let me just exit my positions. Then yeah, that price could drop. So I mean, let's go from this price right here. Let's go down like 30 cents, right? Because this is the area where it's like another what 36% drop. And I'm only using this area for support because there's a lot more candlesticks that are traded sideways right here. And if that were the case, then I mean, still, if you're looking at it from literally what, like beginning of this year, Dogecoin was like 1 cent, if not 0.001. So it's still up literally 10, 20, 30 plus X from its previous low points, closer to 1 cent, whatever price you got in, before it spiked up like crazy. So I mean, I think most people who are looking at it in a negative way are basically they FOMO in and they basically are panicking because it's crashing down. Now this is common, right? This is usually how they call it. It's like a shakeout, the weak hands typically. And if you put more than you could afford to lose, you probably already sold or and you're panicking already, right? Which it's just part of the game. If you're new to the space, you're gonna have to go through that process. Because the first time I've seen something dip, and this is like years back, I got panic sold too, right? But here I'm used to this stuff. I'm seeing it. I'm like, okay, this is terrible. This isn't like crazy. Unless you invested into some sort of like scam or like some sort of project where the founder just like quit or gave up, then yes, if something's going to dip, then that's when you start to panic and you get out because those projects are typically going to go to zero. Dogecoin, there's nothing, literally nothing I know of right now that could cause Doge to go to zero. There's nothing I can't see on how it could go to zero, right? There might be a new base that it could form, like, you know, in the lower sense. But in terms of it going to literal zero, that means that the company would have to basically end, right? And since Doge has this massive community, like millions of people, at least currently short term, I just don't see that ending. Maybe it could eventually go back to its norm in a few months or maybe years from now, assuming people like leave the Doge train. But at least today, currently, as I'm recording this video, it seems like there's still a huge community. People want to basically buy the dip, which they are literally buying the dip right now. Like you can see this massive green candlestick on the 1 hour chart. So basically, we had the sell off. Yes, it looks bad, but it's literally this massive green candlestick right here. And let's just measure this percent. And you can see it now. Look, we even went back to 50 cents almost right here, like 49 cents. So it's up 50% again. So when they say buy the dip, they literally, well, people try to buy the dip here, then it didn't last. Below the 50 MA now, so we're downtrending. Tried to buy the dip again, didn't survive here. Now we're down again, and this looks like interesting. It's like at 41 cents, and it was funny because I was looking at this and I was like, I'm surprised it didn't dip, you know, even farther down. And it's funny because everyone talked about like 420 Doge Day, and I'm looking at this like support level, and it was almost like it's on like 42. Like I'm just looking at it, but like if you want to match it perfectly, it could look like it's at 42, 41 something, like almost 42 cents if you round it. And in the math in my head, I'm like, wait a minute, that could match with 420. So again, that could be just me just speculating some stuff, which who knows, right? But I'm surprised it didn't break below past the 40 and continue to go to like 30 cents yet, right? Now it looks like it could potentially continue, but I feel like we'll just have to wait and see Dogecoin what's going on. But what do I think is going to happen, right? So in the next few weeks, if more companies start to adopt Doge, right? Because again, Mark Cuban even mentioned that Doge could go to $1. If more companies start to adopt Doge, Elon Musk does some new stuff. Because, oh yeah, I forgot to show you guys this. This entire literal skit is him and that guy talking about Dogecoin, like what it is. It's obviously like a way in the joke where he's like, he doesn't know what Doge is, what it does. But Elon Musk literally says Doge, Doge, Doge. Like, this is what it does. It's a digital currency. He said, the future currency of the world, whatever. You can see the video and see what he says, right? So why would he even say that on live TV? Millions of people can see that, and then expect to like never talk about Doge ever again. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, right? Maybe he could, but that just doesn't make sense for him to go hype up this entire Doge father thing. He even says too, like, reference me as Doge father if I remember correctly. So it's like, why would he waste all this time hyping up this so-called SNL Doge stuff, and then just never ever talk about it ever again afterwards, right? It just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't add up to me. So maybe this short-term dip could be him trying to buy up, you know, some whales Dogecoin too. Who knows, guys? We'll have to wait and see. But do let me know your thoughts on Dogecoin down below. And the next thing is, first off, to get back above the 50 MA, start trending upwards, and then we can see us testing the highs again. But until we start trending above the 50 MA, we'll just have to wait and see till where's the bottom. And aside from that, guys, let me know your thoughts about Dogecoin in the comments below. Subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next one.